This is an article from Marca called Hackers Change Amber Heard's Name to Amber Turd on IMDb page, subtitled Fans of Johnny Depp May Have Changed Her Name. Now, we don't know it's fans. They're assuming it's fans. It could be people who work at the company, at the website. Not quite sure, but let's see what they got. As the defamation trial between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard continues, the battle has gone beyond the courts of Fairfax after someone appeared to hack IMBd by changing the last name of Heard to Turd. I think there's a few typos in here. Maybe these are not English speakers, it's translated or something like that. With fans are both actors waiting for the trial to resume on May 1st, Heard was made fun of by, presumably, fans of Depp, which I think is May 16th. They left out the 6th, but alright, we know what they mean, I suppose. Another attack on Heard. Since the events that occurred during the stormy marriage between the two performers became known, the Legion of Depp fans issued a sentence against his ex-wife, whom they blamed for the dismissal of the actor from the Fantastic Beasts franchise. Well, it wasn't Johnny's fault. I mean, he did a great job with the acting, with the character. He got along with J.K. Rowling, so whose fault was it? That's a tough one. I would have to say probably Amber's. In recent weeks, once the trial began, the harassment of Heard has been constant on the internet and social media. Stop right there. Nobody harassed Amber Heard because the harassment word itself has had its meaning twisted. Here's what harassment used to be, and still is to common sense thinking people who know the actual definition. If I call your personal phone number 10 times a day and bother you and call you names, that's harassment. If I knock on the door of your house 10 times a day and I tell you to come out and all this bad stuff, that's harassment. I'm coming to you personally and harassing you and disrupting your day and making you feel uncomfortable and feel threatened. Harassment isn't making videos on somebody, not directly sending it to them, not directly talking to them, but about them. Harassment is not writing a bunch of Twitter comments about somebody, even on their own thread, because that thread is public. When you make a social media account, it's public for people to comment on. What's not public is your personal phone number, your home you live in is not public, so harassment is the wrong word. Nobody, not in Johnny's fandom, unless they personally know Amber, has harassed her. Let's keep going. Most users blame the actress for continuous contradictions, as well as the evidence that allegedly show that the violence was mutual and not solely down to Depp. Wait, we don't actually have evidence that Depp was violent or did anything physical. So let's just say that the violence was on Amber's side. So this website here is getting quite a few things wrong. I think possibly they do have negativity towards Amber. I've read this site before, but it looks like they're far from perfect. And here we see it. This is from the official site, which they showcase. It says on top, of course, Amber Turd, actress, Aquaman, with the full title, Amber Turd. And on bottom, they include what they found from social media, I suppose. Amber Heard's mad woman is guilty. Never forget the hypocrisy of this disgusting clown, or if something unites us on Twitter is hatred of Amber Heard, are just some of the messages that have been read in these months. But there's been mostly, from what I see, and I check Twitter, I hate to admit it, but probably 25 times a day from my channel and connections and news and things like that, is people saying, I'm an abuse victim, I can spot an abuser. I think it's probably the number one comment you see, which is never, ever, ever showcased in the media. Well, maybe some media. Maybe some of the smaller sites that are actually heavily justice for Johnny. But, you know, in general, you just don't see that comment being showcased. And plenty of people are saying, well, I'm not a big Depp fan, but look at the evidence. Look at the facts. Look what's presented. Or like myself, I wasn't a big Depp fan. I've become more of a fan because as I've been covering this, I've been finding out Johnny is into things that I am. Namely, classic rock. He's also friends with Paul McCartney. I'm a Beatles fan. He's an artist. I was an artist before I got married. Now I've got no time to do anything. But the point is, At first, I wasn't a Johnny fan, but it looked really weird because I'd never heard anything about Johnny being violent in any drama or nothing. And they finish off with this. Depp and Heard trial close to ending. Last Friday, we learned both sides would have a week off and will resume proceedings on May 16th. The final conclusions and pleadings will take place on May 27th before the jury deliberate and issue a verdict. And obviously, this is the main news, and this is the point to their article, so I'm not so happy they said it was mutual. However, they are showcasing this right here, and I think it's pretty negative towards Amber. Yeah, it's immature. I wouldn't do it myself. I can't even condone it. However, it really shows that people are very passionate about this issue, and they'll go to lengths to express themselves. And I don't actually see anything illegal here. They just changed a little few letters. Now, here's what I also got to say about websites and publications on Amber's side. Now, I cover the New York Post quite a bit. I've even covered the occasional Sun article, obviously to debunk it and contradict it. However, you've got to understand, there are hundreds of people, if not thousands, working in these companies combined or even separately. Not totally sure, but there's a lot of people. And the thing is, they're not all on Amber's side, but they're stuck in it. Imagine a job, especially in the US, that's very politically polarized right now. You can't say certain things at work. It's not like if you're on Johnny's side, you could go into work and say, hey, what's up? Good morning, Frank. Good morning, Jim. Justice for Johnny. Hold up your sign. Be like, I'm not writing this article today about Amber, even though it's my job. We're on Johnny's side here at the Sun, at the New York Post. You got to be quiet and you got to just go along with it. However, you might be able to do certain things on the inside, manipulate things that might actually help Johnny. So my point is, like, the New York Post and the Sun are not like this one person who's against Johnny. I bet there's people in there who are, forced into silence, unfortunately. So I think it's okay to still speculate on those sites, even though they are pro-Amber on the surface, at the top levels. And that's usually how it works. Usually at the top levels, they've got the narrative, they've got the motivation, but the people on the bottom levels are probably more like us, and I bet really having their fingers crossed that Johnny does win the trial. You guys, let me know what you think down below. I know you think this is probably pretty interesting news. And if you're not subscribed here, consider it. I'm doing shoutouts, special thanks, things like that. If you don't subscribe, I guess I'll be sad, but I'll get over it. See you next time.